welcome back. A brief recap. Last time you had a big fight. Is kind of all that happened. Having discovered the source of Hugo's distress, which seemed to be these wyverns getting captured in the night, you stealthed around and took out a few guards before they picked up on your presence and the fight kicked off for real. You took out most of them, helped free the wyvern, which also took out a number of them for you. However, one of these figures, a senior member you later learned called Kavran, he managed to escape. You, however, managed to apprehend and interrogate a Minotaur named Dornick. For a time, he told you that they had been hired to acquire these wyverns, and they were to deliver them to a location on the edge of the forest, to the northwest of your position, but to the northeast of the forest. You interrogated them under interesting means. Some were more inclined than others to use force. But you decided not to kill him and let him go, battered and bloodied and bruised and almost dead. The most almost dead he could be, as Arwen would permit. You made your way out and managed to all successfully have a night's rest without complication, waking up the next day to continue your journey in whatever fashion you like. You are about a day away from the city, day and a half I think it is, away from the city. You're in and around this area here, I think. So you're around a day from the city to your north, maybe slightly more if you head more northwest on the diagonal to the forest.
Oh, so where are we? We're like here?
Yeah. About a day and a half from the city, or probably a couple of days.
I reckon we make a push for the forest. Because the thing is, if we go up a day to the city up there, I mean, that's just going to be extra thing. Then do we have to go, like, we're going up, and we might as well just make a straight. Go for it. See?
I agree.
Sweet.
Nice.
Someone else. Get on Elvis.
So indeed, you wake up, you all are rested and recovered, can while away your mornings as you usually do, your various as you come to consciousness at your own pace and things like that, or waking up to your various morning routines.
Feed Elvis his daily acorn.
Aww.
Acorn singular?
He's made of wooden leaves. He doesn't need to eat an acorn to feel like other elks.
Okay, I'm now getting like Monty Python vibes. Elvis is about 3 inches high and, as you say, made from wood and leaves. And then whenever Stix goes anywhere, it's just 2 coconuts going. Coconuts just cracking together like a Monty Python. And he just does the motion of riding around.
No, I just like to imagine it that like obviously Elvis like can't really eat that stuff because he's like fey and he's not really like he's very very weird. So I like give him an acorn and he sort of bites it, and then when no one's looking, he just sort of opens his mouth and it just sort of falls out slightly crushed, like flattened a little bit as he tried to eat it, and that's it.
Or it just passes through and like 8 hours later, just a perfect acorn just comes out behind.
Oh no.
Perfect acorn and just a sort of thing of pollen. Just.
Okay, so you head off with the sun sort of slowly rising at your backs in the east, heading off northwest. It's a relatively cool day. The sun is up and melting the frost on the ground, and you're feeling the sort of chill of the exposed weather. Your little campfire sort of covered in dew where you've sort of broken up all the frost and things like that. But as you're moving, you start to leave tracks and things in the ground. The hooves of Elvis sort of breaking through this frost with a nice sort of crunch as you're going along. Your breath misting in the cold air in front of you as the sun slowly rises and casts light across these fields. You can see sort of off in the distance there is just this just golden sort of glow of the sun glinting off the frost as you walk along it, and it's just very peaceful and undisturbed for the moment.
Oh no, not for the moment.
Yeah, well, until you guys get disruptive fucks.
Us? No.
You and the things that you do.
I think you might have the wrong group.
We aren't disruptive.
You're so very peaceful.
Yeah. Really, really peaceful in a very violent way.
Yeah, I suppose there's peace once you leave.
Exactly.
The grave is peaceful.
What more could people ask for?
To be left alive. Okay, so seeing as it sounds like the two of you are sort of leading this, can I get a survival check on both of you?
Aha! Ha. I am now really fucking good at this. Fuck yeah, I'm really fucking good at this. +5.
You're +7?
Fuck yeah.
Christ. How much wisdom do you have?
I took a feat just now to give me an extra skill proficiency and expertise in one, so like double proficiency bonus. And so I took the skill step because you guys are really, really stealthy, and I guess probably be a bit stealthy too. So I've now got +5 stealth, and then I took proficiency in survival, expertise in survival. So that's a +6 to survival, and then I got 1 point to use. So I put that 1 point of wisdom. So I have +1 in wisdom, and then +6. So I got +7 in survival now.
And when you guys level up and get a +4 proficiency bonus, that'll go to +9 in survival.
Oh my god.
Still.
Good lord.
Feel kind of bad because survival is a very rangery thing, but at the same time, elk made of leaves.
I see your ranginess and I say, do one.
Fine. It's fine.
So, you guys find a pretty sort of like hard section of like. There seems to be some sort of path or track in the road. The ground's a little bit sort of rockier and firmer here, and you start making good time. Come sort of off the frost and things, and it's around sort of 3 hours later, as the sun's reaching its zenith in the sky, and you guys have warmed up now. You know, your fingers and nose and ears are still sort of red and cold, but the travel has sort of kept you nice and warm. That you spot Stix crossing the path, a series of footprints. You can track them. Sort of, they seem to be heading at a slight angle to yours. But yeah, they are. You can track them through the sort of the unbroken frost. It seems to be a small group. You expect maybe 3 or 4.
3 or 4 what? Like regular people?
3 or 4 creatures is all you can tell.
3 or 4 creatures. Is this Arwen's favourite terrain? Would she be able to potentially see what these are?
It is my favourite terrain. Woohoo!
Yeah, because obviously Stix doesn't know anything about favourite terrain, but just sort of looking at him and being like, anyone, you seem to like grass and fields and stuff. What's up with these things?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to examine them more closely, you can make an investigation check.
Do you want me to do that, or...?
Probably better you do it.
Okay.
Your favourite terrain, you might get something for it.
Well, that works.
That does work. Oh, okay.
What are these prints of the feet?
I'm just looking at favourite terrain.
It doesn't have anything about, like, investigation-y things, I don't think. It's just like, I can't get lost and stuff. Basically.
Yeah, you got a 21. So, these footprints, you realise they're quite small. The footprints, they're not like long and drawn out like a boot would be. A boot or a foot is like an oblong shape. These are more circular, and you realise that they look more like animal prints. But you also ascertain that they seem to be bipedal of some description.
Excuse me?
They walks on 2 legs instead of 4.
Ah, okay, thank you.
So whatever it is, there seems to be a group of them that walks upright.
So these are creatures that walk on 2 feet.
Mm-hmm. And they have paw-like feet.
Paw-like feet.
So they're not like hoof-like, they're more paw.
Yes.
More paw than hoof. Okay.
Can I make some kind of check to see if I know anything of that description?
Yeah, just make a straight nature check.
Oh boy! I ain't got a clue.
Yeah. All the time, all the while you guys have been sort of stopped, and Arwen sort of like got around and sort of walked in sort of like a large circle, sort of followed the tracks for maybe a minute one way to study them, and then follow them a minute the other way and come back to you. Stix, you start getting a bit cold, and you just sort of start like stroking Elvis and sort of like hugging yourself, and you're not really paying attention. You're a little bit eager to get on the move again and warm up. You can't really. Nothing springs to mind right now for you.
Are these tracks heading north?
Heading.
Are they like in the...
Yeah. while you guys are sort of cutting across the land, they do seem to be heading more north.
Okay. Well, is there any point in following them? They don't seem to be hurting anyone.
Okay. Do we know if there is anything north? Like, is there anything?
The city is pretty much, pretty much north of you.
Okay, so there could be some things going to the city, and fucking us up. Not fucking us up, fucking them up.
I personally think we should stick with the quest that we're on, and then go to the city if we really want to go to the city. If we see burning flames in the distance, then we'll go to the city.
Yeah, it's just a thing. So, was she able to tell how recent these tracks were?
Yes, based on the weather this morning and things like that, you would be able to ascertain that these are similar to when you were walking across it. These are fresh prints in the frost.
Fresh prints.
We could run and try and catch them up really quick.
The frost has generally mostly melted, but you guys did manage to spot them. It is around midday, so it is starting to melt quite significantly, but you guys rolled very highly and have good tracking skills, so you were able to spot them and work out the unusual nature of them.
Yeah, because
something bad.
No, that's the thing. It's like Schrodinger's box, Until we go and investigate it, it's neither something good, could just be like a bunch of
cat people.
Yeah, because you say paws, but it's like feline paws, canine paws,
dog people.
Yeah.
Dog people.
Okay, that generally means werewolves, and that's bad. That's very, very, very bad.
No.
They're wolf people. Very different to dog people.
Okay, dog people. Doggo. I know hyena people are very bad. Ben knows this. Stix ain't got a clue. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep going along the way we're going, I guess, then, yeah. We can't necessarily help everyone, unfortunately. And... yeah. No. Yeah. Very fresh. And, let's just fucking go. Let's just... oh, wait! Okay.
Everyone, we must wait.
Can I see?
Hopefully.
Oh no! Wait. What's the range on my thing? My
60 feet for divine sense, I'm guessing, is what you're after.
Crap!
Oh! Yes, I do.
That she does. Which for a ranger in your favourite terrain extends to 6 miles.
Try me from the awareness. Can I sense it just in one direction instead of
What does it say? Does it say you know the location?
No, it just says this creature is within a certain radius of you. Something is in a certain radius of you.
Which is almost less helpful if it's 6 miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can travel 6 miles in a decent time.
Couple of hours.
Yeah, if I'm on the back of Elvis and so is our Klari, and then we got Neo and Arwen on their thing. We could make 6 miles in no time. But
could I just sense it in literally one direct, ooh, like this, instead of whoa?
No.
Damn it. What if I say please? Please.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Like when Matt tried to do that thing to send the orcs when you were literally in orc territory, and he was like, "Are there any orcs about?" And I was like, "Yes, there are orcs everywhere."
There are orcs to the north, and to the south, and to the east, and to the west.
And to the west.
There are indeed orcs in orc country.
Funny that.
Indeed.
That's grenade.
But yeah. Am I able to be aware of the primeval?
No.
Well, I don't know how much.
No.
Sense any celestials, fiends, fae, or undead within 6 miles of you.
Okay, that's fine. Let's go! Onwards!
Okay, I guess in that case, it's probably just some beastie. Or like you say, it could be people. There are such things as like
Cat people.
like cat people. I think.
There are cat
I don't
people.
Pardon?
There are cat people.
Yeah, these could be cat people prints.
Like the lion one and the other cat one. That looks like a leopard, but it's not.
Tabaxi
That one.
Tabaxi.
and Leonin.
Yeah, the lion people.
Indeed.
I was surprised they never made a dog people.
I would so play a dog person.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they've got like gnolls and jackal wear and stuff like that. That are two different types of like dog person. And they've now got 2 different types of bird person.
Well, they've got 3 different types of bird person. You've got Kenku, you've got
Oh yeah, there's 3 different types of bird
and you've
person.
got-
The Kenku.
owl folk. And then you've got 3 like rabbit folk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's no dog person.
Yeah, there should definitely be a dog
What
person.
would that race be called?
Dog person.
Would be called the Canegons.
Maybe that's why.
Sounds like a dinosaur.
Okay, yeah.
The Mega Canegon.
The Canegon.
That's now a Pokemon.
I don't know. They'd be called something, but they'd probably get like proficiency in perception and be really good at running and can bite. And I would totally be a fighter samurai as a little Shih Tzu.
Oh god.
Because that'd be fucking awesome. Or I'd be a barbarian, but I could be one of them like really, really small dogs.
Like a dash hound.
Yeah,
A dashing barbarian.
and I'd just fucking go off on one. Yeah. Anyway,
So you know, like the Three Musketeers.
yeah.
I used to have a kids version, where they were all dogs.
I
Dog.
love it.
Scrap the campaign. New party idea. give me a day. I'll come up with a homebrew dog race.
that would actually be quite interesting to come up with. I think. That would be kind of fun. To be fair.
Time to take a day off work.
Fuck it. Day off work.
I'll
make a dog race.
Come up with homebrew dog race and rewatch the whole of the BBC Musketeers series for campaign ideas. And I swear to God, if one of you gets the Queen pregnant.
No.
Oh dear God. Campaign slogan. Let's do this. Doggy style.
No.
No.
And our one viewer stopped watching.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh. Well, there we go. Evil lady's a cat. Boom.
Oh, it's... Evil Lady's either a cat or Cruella de Vil.
Anyway, after that tangent.
Brief tangent would crank the ship around back on course. So you're carrying on in the direction you're going?
Yes.
Down this little sort of pathway or animal track or something like that that's giving you good progress, and you keep following it. Eventually the sun starts to swing around in the sky. You maybe pause a few times for food and water throughout the day. But for the most part, the day is uneventful for you. The landscape does change very slightly over the course of the day as you get within, range of the forest, as it were, within the last. You sort of expect to see it the next day. The number of trees and the size of the bushes and things does slowly start to increase around you. You're starting to move from this more flat, open grassland area into a more vegetative area. There's more cover and things like that to be found.
Nice.
So
Yay.
the sun swings around, starts to set in the sky. The brief warmth of the day begins to drop again as you start to lose the light. And you reach the end of another day.
Yay!
You can find a spot to make camp if you wish. You can keep travelling if you're urgent to reach your goal. It's up to you.
Would you say we're like in the forest yet?
No, you're still about half
Still
a
like-
day or so from the forest itself, but you're starting to feel the presence of it. Both
Right.
Stix and Arwen, having grown up in the forest, would start to get an inkling of a magical sense that you guys haven't felt in quite a while. It's been over a month, maybe a month and a half, since you guys were last in the forest, and having grown up there, this sort of magic that permeates the forest as a whole, you've kind of become attuned to. And so the closer you get, you're starting to pick up on this now. And there's this sort of sense of home and this sort of nostalgic air to it all that you're feeling. Very subtle. If you hadn't grown up there and lived there, you wouldn't pick up on it at all at this point.
And I'm fucking loving it.
Yeah.
Woo, trees.
It's that feeling. It's similar to that feeling when you land, even if you don't, when you land back in your home country after being on holiday. Even if you land in a place that's quite a few miles from where you actually live, and you've got a long drive home, you're still like, I am back on home soil.
Oh, loving it.
Usually on a cold morning. But you're like, yes, I am. You're still wearing shorts, even though it's like 8 degrees.
8? That's generous for a cold morning in England.
Oh, God.
Yeah. You can make camp for the night. Not much of consequence happens. If you set a watch, it would probably be sometime between the second and third watch. Whoever's on that one would see a large streak come down in the sky to the north, as a meteorite sort of cascades through the sky and is burning with glowing fire as it comes down. And streaks through the sky to the north of you.
Can we hear if it would the person hear if it hit or made impact?
Possibly, yeah. It would make an impact noise, and would certainly draw some attention.
Well, bloody good we didn't go that way. We get hit by an asteroid. Good job, everyone. We avoided JJ's trap of rocks fall, you die. Okay. Is there any? Would you say there is a bit more of an area of high ground around us, like within like a couple of minutes walk?
You could maybe like find something if you sort of travelled for a little bit. But if you're looking to travel in the night, then you obviously can't see very far around you to pick up anything. Even anything a few hundred feet away, you wouldn't be able to see in the darkness.
Oh yeah, of course.
But if you waited till morn, you could definitely sort of find a rise or something like that, even if it was sort of 15-20 minutes away.
Okay. No, never mind. Continue the evening and get on with shit the next day, I guess.
Indeed.
Yes.
So you all come to consciousness the next morning, waking up at your own pace. Who would be the early riser of the group? Who's normally the one that's up first? Who's the one that's everyone's up and moving and having breakfast and is still there with their blanket over their head, going, "No, it's not morning yet. I refuse."
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like, obviously, I don't know whether you wake up early. I just, out of all of us, is the only one I can imagine sort of being like,
No, 5 more minutes. Let me sleep. I only wake up if Hugo nudges me awake. I ignore everyone else.
Okay. I reckon by this time maybe Klari or someone has learned to sort of lure Hugo away with breakfast and then tell him to go and wake Arwen to get her moving.
Yes.
Arwen is manipulated by her own dragon child.
And was Hugo okay last night?
Yeah, he seemed fine.
Okay. Cool. Just because
So
we're
next
on the
night, don't
way.
worry.
Oh God! Not again.
Yeah, no, we're up.
You're
We're
up,
moving.
you're about, you're moving.
Getting going.
Whoever's leading the way can make survival checks again. Either one with advantage or one each for the 2 people leading.
I'll let you go. It's still your favourite terrain. You're probably still better to go with advantage and like +5 or something.
I mean, this will be survival again.
What are we looking at survival for?
Isn't it with advantage?
No, well,
Yeah, it's with,
it is. Oh,
If
okay.
Stix is helping you, it's definitely with advantage.
Yes.
It's just a general survival check to ascertain how well the day goes for you.
Okay, because we can't get lost.
You can't get lost, no.
No,
We cannot get lost.
we can't get lost.
Ha! Watch me.
No, you can get lost, but I can't. I am very skilled.
For 20 minutes while he walks in the wrong direction going, "It's the other way."
Well, I've also got Klari on the back of Elvis with me, so it'd be both of us getting lost.
So, you make your way again. In order to carry on moving in the direction that you want to move, you do have to leave this pathway now. There's become slightly more of a sort of, the couple of hours last night and a few hours this morning has become slightly more of a main road. It's widened and seems to have had more traffic on it over the years. But to head off in the direction you want, you do leave this pathway and cut across the grass itself. It's a little bit warmer. There's a few more clouds and things in the sky, so the sun sort of keeps disappearing and reappearing. But that cloud cover has kept the temperature a little bit warm, and so the morning is dewy rather than frosty.
Nice.
Nice.
As you're making your way in the morning, whoever's leading the way, can they make a perception check for me?
Probably a good thing I'm not on that. Well, now I would...
Either advantage for someone or two of you can make it individually.
It says on the thing, even when you're engaged in another activity while traveling, such as foraging, navigating, or tracking, you remain alert to danger.
Okay.
So I don't know what that technically means in technical terms. Does it mean anything?
Well, it would make it harder for you to be surprised and things like that.
Okay.
If someone was trying to sneak up on you, or if you wandered into a potentially dangerous area, you would be alert. If you wandered into the territory of something untoward, then you would pick up on the signs more quickly, potentially, and that sort of thing. But again, yeah, either someone can make it with advantage, or two of you can make it.
I'll let you go with advantage again. I have a pretty low perception score. And I'm assuming. Yeah.
The same again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, 8 and 17.
Both all with a +5.
What do I?
Dunno. Roll 20, be weird like that. So you make it, a couple of hours down the road. When you spot something with wings, Arwen, off in the distance ahead of you. It seems to be reasonably quite large, but it sort of based on its shape and perspective, you reckon it's quite a long way off, and then you see it sort of gliding, almost like hovering for a moment in the air before it dives, and sort of disappears below the horizon temporarily.
Dragony or birdie?
And then you see sort of a couple of minutes later, the shape rises into the air holding something else. There's another form. The shape's got much larger. There's another form. It seems it's being carried off. Make a nature check for me to ascertain the nature of the beast. 18. Difficult to tell at this distance, but you reckon probably more feathered. The wings looked solid. They didn't seem to have any sort of like translucence that you would expect from like the membrane of a dragon's wing or something like that. But,
oh god, is it that bird thing that chased the cow things?
The rock?
Yes, the rock.
I really hope not. Is it... So its body, was it like a bird's body? Or was it more like a, like a dragon or a beastie? Could we tell from this distance?
Its body didn't seem to be as sort of smooth or sleek. It seemed a little bit more... what's the word?
Birdie.
No, like less birdy. Because like a rock is a giant bird. This seemed a little bit more in the body.
But it wasn't like a humanoid body?
No.
Necessarily. Okay.
Insecty?
It didn't look like something like like an Aarakocra would be humanoid, but this was
Reptile-y?
Okay. So it's not some creepy demon creature, but it's not a dragon. I think it's something like... Well, I don't know, because Ben knows lots of creatures that could Well, Ben knows one specific creature that he's thinking about. Whether it is actually that creature, I have no idea.
Let's go and look at it. I want to see it. Let's go.
Yeah, sure. Let's go have a bit of a nose.
You carry on, and you kind of realise, sort of, as time goes on, this thing has fallen off by now towards the direction of the forest. After another sort of hour or so, you start to see this haze in the distance as the horizon gets taken up by these dark trees that the vast majority of these are these huge, like, sentinel pine trees that form the bulk of the forest. It can be sort of a couple of 100 feet tall in places. They're really, really massive trees that two of you grew up around. And as you're travelling, this haze gets a little bit more distinct, more definition to it. And you come across another small herd. This time it's a herd of wild goats. You've got long, straight horns that come up and sort of curve back over their heads. But yeah, they're also quite shaggy, similar to the cattle you came across before. They're sort of these long shaggy coats that hang, and you can see that the bottoms of them are a little bit muddy from where they sort of walked it, and the mud's been churned up, and so they're very similar in places. The best way to potentially describe them would be like the Dulux dog.
Yeah.
So like really long, shaggy fur that like hangs down. Like you kind of assume you know where their eyes are, but they've like how do they see? Because they've almost got like hair in it all the time, things like that. And they seem very placid. As a few of them sort of stop munching grass and move out of your way as you ride on through, but they only go so far as to not be directly in your path, and then they're immediately sort of chewing grass, and for sort of 5-10 minutes the sound of bleating is in and around you. And it is at that moment, as you're sort of reaching the far side of this herd, that the bleating becomes a little bit more insistent, and you spot again this shape now much closer. You can see it sort of rise. It's risen out of the forest and is traversing the space between the forest and where you guys are. And you can see now that there's a creature with large wings and 4 legs is flying through the sky, and it circles up high, and then almost without warning plummets down, maybe sort of 200-300 feet off to the side, and there is this surprised bleat. It sort of cries out and then is swiftly cut off. And you see this creature rise into the air. Close at hand now, you can see it has a large eagle-like head and 4 limbs. The front 2 are taloned claws. However, as the body transitions from front to back, the feathers that surround the 4 limbs and things slowly fade into a glossy, sort of smoothly furred coat, and the hindquarters are that of a horse.
Horse?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't expecting a horse.
Yeah. The goats now have sort of had a moment of panic and have rushed off, but not being so even intelligent as to necessarily try for some survival. They have only gone sort of maybe a quarter mile before they've all got distracted by eating and things again. And the herd you can see is only like a quarter mile away, sort of settled and eating again.
You stupid.
As you watch this, this creature now rises into the air, keeping fairly low, and moves off away from you, maybe a half mile or so. And you can, as your attention is sort of pulled around, previously focused on this creature that made its kill, you spot 3 more slowly flying through the air to join it. Seemingly similarly large, slightly different colorations. The one that made the kill had a smooth sort of white and speckled brown front that transitioned into a fully brown set of hindquarters, whereas the other one seems to be almost entirely brown, with a sort of dull coloured brown head and neck and wings, things like that. And the hindquarters are a slightly darker shade. And then there are 2 that are much smaller. So, maybe only a quarter of the size. They both have this almost entirely white coloration to them. One is maybe a fraction larger, and it has started to develop this darker adult colouring to the feathers and things like that. You can see the smaller one has this more sort of downy, fluffy feathers to it. And the slightly larger one has a few of the more adult feathers have grown in. And all 4 of them settle around the body of this small goat that has been killed and just start sort of tearing, talons sort of tearing open, beaks ripping off strips of flesh.
How far away is this now?
This is probably quarter mile, half mile, something like that. So
in front or behind?
Sort of off to the side of where you are.
Oh, okay.
So you're watching from a distance.
Is the circle of life?
Absolutely. Leave them to it. They've got a baby.
Zavenya.
The hippogriffs. I believe that they are so named.
They are indeed hippogriffs.
Great, beautiful creatures, and will soon be mine as soon as I can access 4th level spells.
Sorry, what? Why?
Because when I get access to Find Greater Steed, I can have a hippogriff as a pet.
Yes.
But don't listen to the Melvis. I'm keeping you, but adding wings.
Oh.
If that is obviously possible, but
That's so
I think you
cool.
can get a Pegasus, so
you can.
yeah.
Which is kind of insane. So
just stick some antlers on it and it's fine.
exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. No. What was it? Find familiar, find steed.
Cool would that be?
A Pegasus with antlers.
Yeah. Well, like a leafy wooden elk that kind of looks like it's made of a tree, and then all of a sudden it just sort of grows wings made
So
of
cool.
leaves and shit, and it just. Oh, that'd be so fucking cool. Goddamn.
We need to level up quick.
As we're watching this, I'm just gonna like look down over you one day, and it just sort of like just looks straight up, but no.
No, that is not me. I am not related.
You'll think I can fly.
Yeah. I mean, the choices, as it says, for Find Greater Steed are a griffin, a pegasus, a periton, a direwolf, a rhinoceros, and a saber-toothed tiger.
A rhinoceros.
Yeah. It's a fucking cool spell.
Yeah, rhinos are absolutely hench.
Yes.
How exciting.
They are terrifying. Other thing is, obviously, it's a 4th level spell, and I don't think I get many of those in a day.
No. As a paladin, I do believe you get up to 5th level eventually.
Eventually, yeah, but I think it's the same thing as sort of like wizard spells where you want to get. Oh no, just looking at it. So
I mean, you get up to 3 at 17th level.
Aww. Well, that's cool.
So.
And actually, if I use my Channel Divinity, I can get that 4th level spell I just used on the thing back.
Is that...
It is, however, wasting my Channel Divinity.
Does that give you your Harness Divine Power? Does that give you the level of the spell back? If it's like the Cleric one, I believe you get half your proficiency bonus or something like that.
So it's Charm Divinity, Turn the Faithless, Divine Shield, Magic and Efficiency. I don't think I have it on here, but I believe actually I had it just on here now. I believe it is. Where the fuck?
You gain 1 expended spell slot, the level of which can be no higher than half your proficiency bonus rounded up.
Duh! Crap.
Yes.
Well, rounded up, I'll get like Blinding Smite back. Yay. No. Oh, I just hate them. Oh, I hate the Paladin Channel Divinity. I feel so weak.
Yes.
But then I can smite everything and deal fuck ton of damage, so
yes, you can.
Very strong. Anyway, moving on.
Indeed. So, with this sight happening off to the side of you, you move on and relatively quickly find yourselves in and amongst the trees of the forest. They do start reasonably small on the outskirts, but quickly as you delve deeper in, they do start to increase in size. And again, the variety is more on the outskirts where you are. You find a larger variety of tree. And you would know, the two of you, that the deeper you delve, the lesser that variety becomes. It's not whittled out altogether, but the heart of the forest is vastly majority of pine trees. But yes, you're making your way still sort of steadily northwards. I'd say you guys are on and around probably this point around here on the map. So you have just entered the forest and are looking for a meeting point, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. You can. I give you the options of skills you want to use. If you can think of one that you would like to utilise more than another, but you can make sort of survival checks or investigation checks. If you have other skills you want to use, essentially it's a little bit of, a little bit of a skill challenge in terms of how would you guys think you would go about searching. You feel like you're generally in the right region, but you're
wait, what are we searching for again? We're searching for.
You're searching for this meeting point that you know of, or at least that's what I assume you're searching for, given you've headed directly here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where the big bad man is gonna try and take the dragon that's not actually gonna be here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess if I was to take... I don't know what's better. I mean, I could take something like medicine or I could cast Speak with Animals and then use Persuasion. Because I got a +7 in that shit. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, could try something like that. And then obviously if you've got things like survival and stuff, it's your favourite terrain, I felt that would be. But is forest your favourite terrain?
Yeah, forest and grassland.
Yeah. And then obviously Klari, you've got whatever you've got. You've got whatever skills you want to use. I haven't seen your skills in a while. You've got Persuasion, Religion, Sleight of Hand, Stealth, +10 to Stealth.
10 now?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Basically just also without a trace on herself at all times. Acrobatics or Insight.
Next level it goes up to 11.
It does. That's
Oh my god.
It would go up to 12, wouldn't it? Because it's double your proficiency
Oh
bonus.
my god.
Oh, it's double.
It's expertise.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. You'd have +12.
Good lord.
So the minimum you could roll would be a 13. Which is higher than a lot of things passive perception.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be on a 1, so that would be factored in. But if you rolled a 2, that's a 14.
And if you think in regards to the stealth rules, obviously we can only sort of like insta-kill something that's like of a certain portion of our level.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know every monster in the monster manual. This is obviously fairly metagame knowledge. But I know most don't have a passive perception higher than 13 that are like CR 1 or 2.
Yeah. Anything
I
that you
know
guys can
double.
stealth
No.
kill would, it would be generally low.
You're invisible.
Eventually Clary's stealth is going to get so high she's just...
Clary starts to fade out of existence.
We're constantly going, where's Claire? Oh, there she is.
You just like there, like, I've been here this entire time.
Like, I want to be trying to be stealthy. She's like stomping, trying really hard to
stamps on a really, really like crunchy leaf, and it's still like the most silent thing you ever heard.
Stamps on a really crunchy leaf just as Stix sneezes.
Oh man. So yeah, I guess I'll. Would you allow that if I cast Speak with Animals and then try to Persuasion?
Yeah.
And then obviously Klari, you can take whatever. We're in a forest, trying to find stuff, and then the meeting place of the stuff. So I guess you've got decent intelligence, which is like nature. I think nature is intelligence.
Is that just opposite?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't intelligence, it was...
Little constitution. But I mean, yeah, you've got like +3 to nature checks and stuff, so that could be decent. And then obviously, yeah, so I'll do that. So I'll mark off the spell slot. I guess I'll roll that then. Give me all the answers, you animal fucks. Don't give me all the answers, but
The meaning of life is...
Oh, I know this one. 42.
Ah, well done. So knowledgeable.
that's what you ask. For us, it's 42. For a squirrel, it's nuts.
Oh god, not this.
So you can't speak with animals.
Yes.
There are obviously a plethora of animals about. They are...
I'm going to try and get a bird, because I feel like birds, they can obviously fly and stuff, and they're generally...
They're nosy.
Yeah, they're nosy, they fly around everywhere, they're like trying to find food for their sort of young, so I feel like they might have seen something like from the air.
Okay.
maybe.
So yeah, you find, well, there are a number of birds about, and you manage to coax one out of a tree. It's a little bit, sort of quizzical, in this little robin. You find flies out of the tree and doesn't quite come directly to you, and it just ends up landing on one of Elvis's antlers, feeling a little bit safe. But it is quite quizzical and just sort of cocks its head at you. It clearly understands what you're saying.
Be a tree. It might land on you.
He's not a tree. He's a Disney princess. Yes, but yeah, this robin flies out and lands on the antlers of one of Elvis's. On one of Elvis's antlers. Sort of cocks its head and just quizzically, almost sort of asking the question.
Have you seen? Hello, little bird. Have you seen anything? Oh, how would a bird? Because we're looking for obviously where this like monster thing would come and rampage up here. So I guess it's sort of like, have you seen any? Because it made stuff. God, it's been so long since we fought it. It made stuff undead, so it has like an army by now, doesn't it? We're assuming.
Oh, we're just looking for the guy that is basically trafficking the wyvern. The Crowley guy.
Yeah, I thought we meant a different thing. Trafficking the wyvern. Okay, so we're looking for any wyverns. We need
dragon.
big bird. Really? No, not big bird. That's a bad thing. Dragon. We need to find a dragon. Have you seen a dragon? Dragon, not lizard.
Not mine. Sort of like, it's just sort of like hopping around, like, yeah, seen, big, me, but hard and on the outside, big.
Yeah, hard on there's a long tail with pointy thing on the end.
Yeah, big pointy tail.
Yeah, where?
Hold on, let's see what it knows. Quite a lot. Yeah, it's about. How far is it? And you see it just sort of like spread its wings and then go. About 1, 2, 3.
Powering a little wheel in its own mind.
About this many flaps, and it's like then flaps its wings really hard for like a minute. It's just like about this many flaps, but slower, obviously, because I get tired. Slower, obviously, because I get tired. And then sort of like waves a forlorn wing that way.
Thank
Got any nuts?
Yeah, and I'll just pull out some rations and I'll give him just everything. Just everything.
Yeah, he's got some like trail mix or something like that, and he just like hops down and just like starts like pecking away, just like just pecking away at them.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
well,
it's a red, but you think this one has exhausted itself and is even more red. A little bit puffed out.
For once, Arwen hasn't cast Speak with Animals, so she just sees this worn-out robin in front of Stix, and she's like, "What have you done to the poor thing?"
It was counting.
Look at the.
I didn't it nuts. Oh, get calm down. I have this under control. Here you go, little robin friend. Thank you very, very much. You've been very, very kind. I'll tell you what. Could I, right,
keep it?
Could I get a small little pouch, or just anything that I could potentially just make into like a tiny little sort of bag, even if it's just like a little bit of sort of fabric that I've got a little like leather strap for, and just sort of put a bunch of trail mix in that, like tie it up really loosely so we can get into it.
Like a bird feeder.
Yeah, and then just give it to him that he can take it back to wherever he wants to go. And just be like, there you go, guy.
So you're essentially making a small pouch of food to gift
Yeah.
the bird.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Roll a very quick dexterity check for me. Just to see
very
what you
quick.
can cobble together from sort of a few scraps that you've got lying around.
A really quick dexterity check. That's strength. Not strength. Not punching the bird.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it goes very well. You like quickly like grab all these like different scraps and start like sort of like, you know, and you find like a small like square bit, and you get you quickly like pull out your knife or something and like poke 4 holes in the corner, and like slice off a very thin strip from the edge and fill it with seeds and like lift all the corners together and use the strip that you sliced off to like weave through all the holes to like tie it off securely, and so it'll sort of hang by this little string, but if you like let go of the string, all the corners will relax, and so the bird can hold the string in its mouth and it will hold the pouch, it'll hold the corners together.
Perfect.
And then when it lands, it'll let go of the string and all the corners will just open up.
Perfect. Here you go, little guy. There you go. Thank you very much. The information has been very, very useful.
Got this like strip of leather.
Alright, ladies and gents.
And you see him take off and like jumps into the air and then suddenly drops like 2 foot before he catches himself and, you know, under the weight of all of these seeds, and just slowly rises into the air, and you see him flapping pretty hard just to keep going, but he's got a tasty amount of food.
He'll be fine. Alright guys, we need to go this many flaps, that away.
Yes, exactly.
Let's go.
Like that. Yeah. And so-
Arwen wonders what drugs Stix has taken.
and where she can get some.
Yeah,
And Stix
obviously.
wonders how much time you've got. Let's go. I'm high on life. Oh,
Don't eat the wild mushrooms.
no, of course not. It's that creepy, colourful moss stuff that makes me feel all tingly.
Don't eat that either.
Too late.
Oh no.
Thank you for your suggestion, though, crazy rabbit lady. Strange. You didn't have 4 heads before. I'm not actually high.
Not yet.
Let's go.
And so you start making your way through the forest. Navigating the forest isn't an issue for you guys. You know, you're well seasoned to this forest. Particularly you are, it's your favourite terrain. You're able to guide everyone through it, so you don't have to worry about getting lost or anything like that. And you head in the direction indicated for some time. How long are you sort of continuing for?
I guess. Okay, so if a robin flies fairly fast, and he was counting for like more than a minute with pretty fast wing flaps, I'm gonna say like half an hour to an hour.
Okay.
I think.
Do you want to flap your arms while we're walking just to make sure?
Yeah, okay. So we'll walk down the road. Okay.
1,
Find your little robin.
2.
See that? Okay. There's 1. Sword, sword. Okay, another one. Okay. 3 that time, lost my balance. All this is Elvis is just sort of trotting along. This is strange.
So you're making your way.
Yeah, so like 20 minutes, half an hour.
Okay, so around, let's say, 45-ish minute mark, you're not seeing any, like, you haven't stumbled across what the area that you think you're looking for, but at the same time you're not, you feel like you've headed in the right direction. What would you like to do now to sort of narrow your search field? I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Can I just look for some tracks or something?
Let's check for clues.
Yeah. Okay. You can just roll survival for that. Well, this would be in your favourite terrain. This would be at advantage.
17 again!
Great film. It's not.
So, it took you the majority of... Well, it took you the whole morning to make it to the forest, and then you spent an hour or so in it. A little bit of time before you sort of got to the robin and spoke to it, and then made your way through. So it's early afternoon at the moment. Arwen, now you feel like you're heading in the right direction. You start paying more attention to the ground and things around you. Looking for those signs that this area has been traversed by something other than an animal. And so your pace slows while you take more time to sort of track backwards and forwards, scouting larger areas and circling around, sort of looking for these signs and things like that. And eventually you do pick up on activity. You find a small pile of ash encircled by stones, and a sort of disturbed and flattened area that you think would be the campfire of 1 or 2 individuals. You also, you find what appears to be a little what's the word, like herb pouch or something like that. There's around it. There's a patch on the ground that seems to have been either discarded or dropped or something like that, and sort of giving it a sniff. It might have had sort of herbs for seasoning or like tobacco or something like that in it. So you guys are in the right area. You just haven't. You think you're getting close. You just need one more thing to like really nail down where you need to be. To put it in metagame terms, you guys are on 2 successes.
It's up to you. Roll the nature. No, that is true. Unless you can think of how stealth would help. Or sleight of hand. Or... No.
Was it survival? Is it not better? Nature's higher.
Yeah. Hey!
Ooh.
Look at that.
19. A nature check from Klari with a 19. Okay, so having found this like evidence of people, Klari, you kind of use your insight into people and things like that, and you cast around you, and you notice that you're actually even though you went sort of more west into the forest initially, you've gone sort of more northeast again, following the direction of this bird, and so you've come quite close to the edge of the forest once more, and so you pick up on the trees are a little bit more. You haven't got as many of these pines here. They're a little bit more sort of like sparse. You're in quite a light area at the moment where there's not many. You are still definitely in a forest, but the canopy isn't as thick and things like that. And so you guess by heading into a more sort of secluded and sheltered part of it that you would have more luck in that direction. And indeed, this is the final sort of locating sign that you need, as after about 20 minutes to half an hour of walking, you hear a very familiar, animalistic, monstrous screech faintly in the distance, echoing through the forest. And using this as your sort of locating call, you can follow the sounds of this sort of snarling and sort of roaring that's going on. You make your way through, slowly approaching, and eventually you come across what seems to be the remnants of a small village. There are a large number of dilapidated and collapsed huts and things like that. The roofs and things, they have these sort of like thatched appearance, seem to have sort of caved in, or some of them have sort of deteriorated and have holes in them and things like that. The walls appear to be wooden, and made from this sort of panelled bark and things like that, and some of them have, again, like holes and things where they've all fallen out. There is a small clearing around a pond, but other than that, you can't way back in the trees where you guys are at the moment. You just pick up on sort of a few of these details, but it would have to sneak a little bit closer in order to get a proper view.
Alright, I guess we're gonna have to sneak a bit closer then.
Okay.
Hop down, Elvis. Stay here, good boy. Keep watching the stuffs.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to assume you're approaching stealthily, in which case everyone make a stealth check.
Do you want to do the others first? That works.
And finally, Stix.
Oh, see that proficiency paid off. No.
It was all going so well. But
I wasted feet on you, you bastard.
3 out of 4 successes.
Ooh, Neo is now stealthy.
Well, he rolled very well. So, a majority success. You guys do manage to sneak up nice and close. And indeed, through the trees, you get a very clear view of 2 cages on the water's edge. They seem to have been constructed from the trees around them themselves. They're made out of wood. These incredibly thick branches lashed together to form cages. You can see as well a certain amount of sort of gnawing and things has gone on in some places from these 2 wyverns that are quite cramped. They don't have, you can see their wings are sort of furled closer and they're a little bit hunched. They are, and they're, they are these very large collars around them that are attached to chains in the center of the cages, like keeping their heads low. You can see a couple of guards from where you are, but not many. You can see. Well, I will show you what you can see. So you can see a large number of these huts that are all sort of dilapidated and in various states of collapsing and falling down and things like that. You see these 2 cages, and you can see these three guards seem to be milling about. One of them is sort of, this one over here is feeding a stick sort of through the bars, and like poking at the wyvern before it, like, and then pulling it back as it tries to sort of snap at it. But yeah.
Okay. So we've got 3 guards. There are 4 of us. But we don't know who else could be here. Any of the... I'm assuming we can't see into any of these huts, like by an open door or window or anything like that.
You can see the entrances on them. They all have or had doors. The doors, again, are in various states of collapse and things like that. Some of them have, this paneling has fallen away in enough of a way that you could definitely like peek and peer inside and potentially even sneak inside if you wanted to.
There wasn't any evidence to suggest there's potentially more bad guys around.
Not at first glance from where you guys are at the moment.
That's bad. I mean, people could try and go all the way around so we can remain somewhat on the forest, sort of like in the forest sort of thing, to get as close to these bad guys as we can before sort of jump out, grab them, stab them, and jump back.
Grab them, stab them. Stix is dropping a mixtape soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Stix, you take 500 psychic damage.
Bring it. For reference, I just sat on a pack of mini eggs and it looks like I laid eggs. I did not, unfortunately, lay eggs.
It's just to see you find them out from your bum.
Yeah, so I reckon we get people around the outside to try and... Because Arwen, is there any way you can communicate with these things?
They are No, I can't. I
You
don't
go
think.
communicate with them.
He doesn't speak.
Is there aim, like, are we trying to free the wyvern?
Yeah.
Wait, I think he can... Hold on, 2 seconds.
Because I think whoever is...
Can we see, like, what kind of locks are on the cages?
Yeah, the cages themselves seem to be just like... There is a very simple like wooden latch system to it. It's the wyverns that have these big like chains, or these big like exactly like a giant manacle around their neck, which is connected to a chain attached to it, like padlocked to a big spike in the ground.
Does it look like that needs like a specific key?
Yeah, it looks like it's like padlocked, and it would take a key.
Do wyverns speak Draconic? Sorry.
Do wyverns speak Draconic?
Or understand Draconic?
Make a nature check for me.
Yeah. Sorry if I interrupted. I'm sorry.
14. From what you remember about wyverns, like you were told at the monastery, wyverns are a less intelligent form of dragons. They are much more animalistic. So you're not certain, but you're pretty confident they don't actually speak at all.
High-pitched wyvern noises.
What if you guys like made a distraction and then Clary can use her stealth to try and pick the locks?
Yeah!
And
we'll free them!
And then hopefully they will not kill us and they'll kill the other guys.
I like this plan, because I think they could potentially be smart enough to know decency. Okay, at the end of the day, we're going to be letting them out the cages either way. I'd rather let them out the cages while there's other stuff they can feast on.
Yeah. They would probably go for the ones that have had them in captivity.
Exactly.
Not the ones
Exactly. So,
otherwise, maybe Hugo can talk to them.
He can't,
well, yeah,
because they don't understand a language, so he can't speak to them,
Of course,
unfortunately.
okay. I have an idea. It's a really bad one. But I'm going to do
God.
it. Elvis! Where'd you go, boy?
Oh,
If we're looking for a
God.
distraction, I was thinking of just straight up ramming Elvis into this dude.
Okay, well, I would suggest that you guys quietly make your way over to the other side and make attacks from there, because that will draw their attention.
That's why I'm thinking, yeah, if I
So
rammed
very
over there
easy.
and then hit him on that side, they'll immediately be looking.
Yeah, no, I was saying like ram into the
Not
new one,
from-
just make sure you're doing it from
Yeah.
here. And then hopefully Clary can sneak over here.
Awesome.
Mirror image. Can I control the duplicates, or do they all
They
stick
mimic
next to
your
me?
movements. They always stay next to you. That's different.
So then we do like a mirage decoy.
No. There is one which is basically like a mirage decoy. It's called Mislead. You turn invisible and hologram essentially of yourself shows up and you can control it and do what you want to do.
Clary's practically invisible now.
Exactly. So, yeah. So, if we're all agreed on the distraction plan, I can go over and start a fight. Maybe Neo can come with me.
Yeah.
And then while we're starting the fight, Elvis can come in and, oh, not Elvis. Neo can come in and, fight with me. And then, you guys can either do the stealth or Arwen can come and distract and Clary can do the stealth and pick the lock. And then the wyverns can be free. And then we're all good.
Okay. Okay.
Basically. Cool.
Well,
Where's my...
if you're going to be... Well, yeah, no, we'll just carry on. Actually, we won't drop into stealth initiative just yet.
Oh, that's like perfect size. Sort of.
Yeah, that's fine. Are you just charging straight out there, or are you going to?
What did we discuss?
We said that I was going to make a distraction.
Yeah, we said you were going to sneak around here and charge.
Oh, I thought we agreed that as long as I go over there, it doesn't really matter where I'm going from.
You need to do it from here, so they go that way. If they see you charging from where I'm about to sneak from.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh shit, he was there, now he's there. Let's focus on where he is now. He's clearly not going to go back from where he was. Surely.
Yeah, because then they're gonna... Because others are going to come from that direction.
So if you're, to coin the phrase, gunning it, Stix, I will have, you will, that's what I want to do. You will essentially appear here.
Yes.
And I think we will roll initiative as you and Neo appear from this position. And we will move in initiative as things progress.
Sure. I've done that wrong. Come on, good initiative roll. Done it. It's fine. I'm gonna sprint that way no matter what, so they'll be focused. I'll take opportunity attacks or whatever I need to get there. I've got like 16 HP now. Huh? It does matter, so you can still say stuff.
Okay. Arwen?
Hello.
Initiative. So, oh, sorry. You have rolled it. That's on me. All right. Some real low initiative rolls all around.
Mine's not low. Mine's super high.
Yeah, you're the anomaly. No one else.
I'm always
above a
an
10.
anomaly.
So as long as we are of third of your level, then you can kill them immediately in stealth challenge rating. But that's the stealth initiative, we're not.
Yeah, this is not stealth initiative, unfortunately, as Stix has charged out into the open, quickly followed by Neo. But Arwen, you are up first.
Oh god.
You can.
Okay, I'm just gonna go
He's obviously going to go
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 to here.
Okay.
And just wait.
Okay. Are you holding an action or are you just waiting?
No, I'm just gonna wait to see what happens. No one knows I'm there, do they?
No, at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, because Clary's gonna do the thing, and I'm here if something goes wrong over here.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Alright, next is Neo, who's going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then he's going to dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. What is counting? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, yeah, and then he's going to dash up to this guy and just get in his face. So that's Neo's turn. We then have the old bandity boys. One of them is going to take 2 swipes at Neo, and both of them are going to miss. This one here is just going to move a little bit. And this one's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, come around here and get a line of sight. And then the two that are further away both pull out short bows off their backs and arrows from quillers. And one of them is going to target Neo with his back, and two of them, and one's going to target Stix. So that's going to be 1 hit on Neo, and 1 hit on you, Stix, with a natural 18. So Stix, you take 4 damage as one of these arrows flies at you, and Neo takes 9 damage. Shot in the back. These two sort of backing up, startled, shouting to each other, and you hear these pulling out bows, and you hear sort of the twang as they both fire quite quickly, both missing their first shot, but sort of getting their eye in and landing their second.
Excellent.
Next up, we have you, Stix.
So you see this guy that's next to Neo.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I can't really get. Can I get in between Neo there? No.
In between Neo and the hut, not really on Elvis.
30, 35, 40. So I'll get around the back of Neo and charge him and ram him from there. And then I'm going to say that Elvis is going to make an attack.
So you're leaving Elvis uncontrolled?
I am, so that he can use his ram ability and try and ram into this guy.
Okay.
So I'm giving up my action for him to.
Well, the way my understanding of mounted combat works is you take, if you're controlling your mount, you move together. If you're leaving your mount uncontrolled, then he rolls his own initiative and acts independently.
Well, yeah. So I'm controlling him. I'm physically riding him.
If you're controlling him, he cannot attack.
Crap. In which case, I will say then yes, he's on his own doing his thing.
Okay. Roll initiative for Elvis then. He's obviously a trained and controlled mount. A 1.
Oh, ow.
Oh my god.
That's good stuff.
That is Elvis, come on.
Which does slightly suck for you, Stix, because if Elvis is uncontrolled, you're still back here and have 0 movement speed on your turn. While you wait for Elvis to do his thing.
Then I'm going to...
Yes, because Stix is mounted, so he cannot move anywhere. I mean, he can get off Elvis and walk around.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he has no movement speed on the back of Elvis. If he is controlling Elvis, then he and Elvis, their turns are simultaneous. So Stix has no movement, but Elvis has 50 feet of movement. So on Stix's turn, or on Stix and Elvis's turn, Elvis can move, and then Stix can attack.
Okay.
Then, yeah, I'm just going to say to Elvis, go that way. Charge, boy. While I shoot a heavy crossbow bolt The far guy over here.
Okay, yeah, that'll hit.
7 damage.
7 damage.
Chunk.
Yeah. So you give Elvis an order to charge. As he will do on his turn. And you fire a heavy crossbow bolt. As you say, ka-chunk indeed. It just whistles through the air. And you see this quarrel just spout from this guy's shoulder. He sort of, as he's like trying to knock another arrow, he just sort of reels back a little bit and screams out. And it sinks in. Klari, your turn. Is that everything on your turn, Stix?
Yes.
Okay.
Clary's 15. And she's gonna wait. Oh, actually, no, I can't get that far because that's.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
everything on your turn.
Yeah.
You holding an action or just waiting?
Just waiting.
Okay. Then Elvis, it's turn. He'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, or and wait, bring you up to this guy, Stix.
Yep.
He doesn't have the movement to ram, but he can, or the movement to charge, but he can.
The charge is a free thing.
If the elk moves at least 20 feet in a 20 feet straight towards a target, then it can.
Oh, it's straight towards the target, isn't it? It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's still just gonna attack this guy and
Yeah.
beat him. Cause Elvis.
Yeah. So
Oh.
roll for ram. 13. 13 unfortunately doesn't hit as he sort of wheels around Neo, like lowering his antlers. The guy was just careful not to like gore Neo on the way past.
Neo got in the way. That would have been so.
Manages to, almost like it's like trying to go around round a lamppost or something. The guy just sort of like backs further round as Elvis comes around. He like backs a little bit the other way, and Elvis's antlers swing wide, unfortunately.
Neo, you suck.
Ah yes, Neo is the one at fault.
He is. Bastard.
We go back to you, Arwen.
Okay, I'm gonna. 25, 40. I'm gonna stand here, but I still don't want to draw any attention to over here,
Okay.
so I'll just wait in case someone. Okay, can I hold an action for if one of them comes like over here towards them, I'm going to shoot them.
Okay. Yeah, you can hold your action to attack. You only get one attack when you.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, you can hold an action. You can shoot them with your bow, presumably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Cool.
And that'll be Neo's turn. If that's everything, he will make 2 attacks. Both of those will hit. And that is going to be 19 damage across 2 attacks. So you see Neo having sort of rushed in here with Elvis backing him up. Starts, draws his glaive and manages to, starts lands this big cut across as the guy's distracted, big cut across his chest. You can see his leather armor gets sliced through and blood starts shooting down his side, and he spins it around and comes at him from the other side and cuts deep into his side again. It seems to get sort of lodged in the guy's hip bone for a second before he pulls it back, and again more blood just starts staining his clothes. This bandit is very badly hurt. But that's everything Neo is going to do on his turn. So let's handle these in order that they are on the screen. Green is going to, like, looking down at his wounds and being surrounded by 2 paladins and a giant elk separated from his allies, is going to effectively go, fuck this, and is going to disengage and just start running away. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 into the trees. Just like, you see him, he like literally like drops his sword on the ground. It's like, fuck it, this isn't worth the money, and just starts like pegging it away. The other 2 are gonna take shots if we turret Stix and turret Neo again. So that is gonna be 1 hit on Neo. And does a 16 hit you, Stix?
Yes, because I don't have my shield out.
Okay, so 1, so 8 damage against Neo, and 5 damage against you, Stix.
Ow.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's alright, I got a plan.
And they're both gonna. This one is gonna start backing away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 30, and this one is also going to just start backing up, sort of keeping in step with the other one, as they just kind of try and keep together as a unit. But you get the sense that they are a little bit surprised and are maybe not really there for a fight. They have been left to guard these things, not expecting anything. Any confrontation, and have been caught off guard. There is a token force there at the moment, it seems. But we go to you, Stix.
Well, I think I'm
can
just gonna...
take control of Elvis, at which point he will effectively drop out of. He will, his initiative will join yours, and you can move together, and you can control him. If you want to move about, it's up to you.
I think I'm just going to say to Elvis... Oh no, because they're... This is the thing, they're running away, but will they stay away? No, I think I'm just going to look down at Elvis and just say, okay, no, now the other ones, while I turn around and try and hit Green with a crossbow bolt.
I'm not certain. So you can see you can hit Green.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought you said the others for some reason. Yeah, you can definitely see Green.
Yeah, I'm gonna
These trees and things are not really, they're sort of quite sparse, so they're not really acting like in the middle, like between the huts and stuff. They're not really acting like much cover. Where
Right.
on the edge of the village, Arwen and Klari, you're in a much sort of denser part. 15 will just hit.
Oh.
And 9 damage. Yeah, so this guy's like running, he's got his like back to you, he's disengaged, to like dodge away from your attack. He's dropped his sword, his short sword, and he's just running through the trees, sort of like ducks like behind a couple of like thin trees, but you like take aim, bring this crossbow to bear and fire, and you just see him like sort of arc his back as it lands in, and then he just topples forwards.
Horrific.
Hits the ground with a meaty thud. He's dead. And is that everything on your turn, Stix?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start making lots of noise. Just like shouting and yipping and stuff. So that if there are potentially any sort of like inside, like hiding away, or anything that or any of them's focus is on me, not anyone else.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Just being very sort of loud and noisy.
Yeah.
cheering and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Klari, then it's your turn.
She's gonna sneak up to the cages and try and pick the lock. I'm still staying stealthy, just in case.
Okay. Roll a stealth check for me. Because you are stepping out into the open, but you will have a lot. You can try and use the cages and the wyverns themselves as cover. 21. Okay, yeah, so you sneak out and you don't think that either of the archers has seen you for the time being, as you successfully manage to keep low coming out of these bushes and get up behind the backs of these cages, and the wyverns do notice you as you come up to them, and their heads sort of turn and they swivel, the chains dangling from the necks clink a little bit, but between the two of them and all the bars on these cages, these bars seem to have been sort of built, they're quite a large structure, so the corners and things like that are built from these very solid pieces of timber, and then there are thinner sections between, still sort of maybe like an inch thick or so, but it seems like they've learned that these wyverns shouldn't be able to get any single portion of themselves out, because indeed as you get right up next to the cage, one of these tails does lash out, and you can see it can't quite make it through and stab through the gap enough to stab someone on the other side. The wyvern does sort of try and take a strike at you as you get close, but it's unable to get at you with the barb on its tail. The unlocking mechanisms for like the doors would be on this top side here and on the side here for these cages, but you are hidden where you are at the moment.
Which second from here? 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I fit around like that side, or
Yeah,
not?
you can squeeze through there.
5, 10, 15.
Just bear in mind, if you end up in a position with where they've got direct line of sight on you, it doesn't. You have nowhere to hide essentially.
Yeah. Doing around platform and open the cage.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you don't even need to make a sleight of hand check. There, you can start to open it if you want from that position. It's just a very simple latch mechanism made from a bit of wood and a rope, just to keep the door shut. The main sort of more security measure does seem to be this chain that chains the wyvern to the floor.
Can I attempt to pick the lock on that, or do I have to wait till next round? Action in this case.
Say it's sort of 5 feet. How much movement have you used?
My full movement, 40, I think.
Yeah, it would be sort of 5, because they're chained to the centre, so you have to go 5 feet into the cage to be able to reach it.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm just going to open the gate and walk calmingly to the wyvern.
Okay, make an animal handling check for me, just to see what your presence is doing for it, with the sort of screaming and the shouting things that's gone on. Ooh, 6. So you start to open the door, and much like something similar to a crocodile or something like that, there is this very deep, primal sort of hiss just escapes from between the jaws of this wyvern, just as you approach close to it.
Please don't help me. I'm trying to help. Yeah, that's everything on this side.
Okay. In that case,
Dear fucking God, I hope not.
in that case, Elvis will go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Just gets in there.
Yes! Charge attack!
Yeah. I'll say he gets his charge attack off that. He's sort of moving on the diagonal.
Wow. You better fucking hit now, Elvis.
13, unfortunately, again, is not enough.
Elvis, why do you do this to me, bro? This is literally your one and only time to shine. Not your one and only, but come on, man. 2 13s. It's fine. It's fine. I'm over it.
Good.
Alright.
Arwen, what are you doing?
Okay, they're all distracted now. So I'm going to come over here
Okay.
and I'm going to see if I can, like, be a calming presence
Okay.
to the things.
How are you going about that?
The same way Klari did.
Just sort of like soft
hopefully.
voices, like hushing moments, trying to look non-threatening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, roll an animal handling check for me. 21. Yeah, the wyvern seems to focus its attention on you for a little bit. As you sort of rush over, it sees you coming. And you're able to just get in tune with it in a different way to Klari did. It seems your, whatever it is, your natural acuity to nature just seems to have a much more calming presence on it, and the hissing, this hissing noise it's making just seems to settle a little bit, and maybe it's picking up on something else. Don't know. For whatever reason, you are able to calm it down, and it seems a little less threatened by your presence.
Cool.
Cute.
Anything else on your turn?
Can I go in there and try and... no, because it's a lock, isn't it? I can't pick locks. No.
Yeah,
I'm just going to
there is
try and
like a metal collar on them, which is like locked to a chain that is attached to a like spike, spike set into the ground.
Okay. I'm just going to... Can I kind of, not distract it, but like...
You want to just...
kind of distract...
Yeah, like I'll say...
divert its
21,
attention while Klari
attention
does her
focused
thing.
on you. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. At which point we will go to Neo, who is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and rushes up to help Stix, but that's as far as he can get. And these bandits, as both Klari and Arwen reveal themselves, are going to say, "Fucking hell, there's more of them. Nope. We're not. Don't want any part of this." And they are both going to make 2 attacks before they try and run away. One will hit Neo, and a 15 to hit you, Stix.
Or just hits.
And a 22 to hit Elvis.
No, my boy! Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so
Yeah.
8 damage to Neo, 4 damage to Stix, and 5 damage to Elvis.
Oh, this guy's dying.
Did he go poof?
No. He's still
okay.
he's still up. He's got 8 HP left.
Okay.
Unlike Neo's horse from last time. That went
Oh boy.
poof.
Yeah, you can both. Well, and then
Yes.
they're gonna attempt to back away from you guys. So everyone involved can make an attack of opportunity against them as they go to step away.
Heck yeah.
Ooh, that'll just hit. 7 now.
What?
It does 7 damage to Red.
Ooh.
That is. No, I have a heavy crossbow in my hands. That's what I used on my last turn to shoot
Yeah.
them. So that doesn't happen. Can I make like a sort of like improvised weapon attack?
You can smack him with your crossbow if you want, yeah.
Yeah.
You won't get your proficiency bonus because you're not proficient in improvised weapons, but that will still hit anyway.
That was my sort of Thrickdeer one. That's the. Because I'm assuming I'm using strength for it. So
I was going to use your attack, your sort of Thrickdeer attack roll minus your proficiency bonus.
Well, if you're willing to still use that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that would be an unnatural 20 to hit, which would hit.
Then it's like 1d4 plus strength to hit.
Yeah.
So 1 plus 4. And now it says if you hit with any weapon.
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to divine smite with the butt of my crossbow.
Yeah.
I love being a paladin.
Roll it.
Oh my god.
So that is 14.
18, 19.
19, thank you. 19 damage total.
And
then Elvis is Elvis is making an attack of opportunity.
I love this game.
10.
No, I hate this game.
Unfortunately, Elvis does miss.
Admittedly, he hasn't been in much combat.
No, he's still finding his combat hooves.
Yeah,
Oh.
this training day. You can't just shake your head about it. You got to really ram with the horns, Elvis.
Oh.
Just
Okay, and then
you just start doing that, just like shaking. I'm like, no.
The people fighting.
Yeah.
So these guys will they'll disappear off the map, but they start running as well.
Oh. I'll make a disappear map in a
That's
second.
everything on their turn. They're about 30 feet from you, Stix. What would you like to do?
Is it my go?
Yeah, it is your turn. Blue is looking heavily wounded as Green was when he ran away from you. Red is looking bad after the strikes he's taken, but is not having been like cut by Neo once and shot by you once at the beginning, but is better than the other.
Okay.
He's sort of got one arm around him, and they're sort of like trying to like limping through the trees together. So like, yeah. It's like, come on, we'll just get out of here. Fuck all this shit. We don't.
I would like to cast Bless
Yeah.
on Elvis.
Okay.
Hashtag wasting spell slots. And so they've got one open. And I'm assuming obviously Klari rolled to open that.
Well, the cages themselves are very easy to open. It is.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. It's just the fact that obviously they're locked from the outside.
They're chained to
Yeah.
a place
Yes.
in the middle.
So, I mean, I mean, it's blessed, so I might as well give the other one to Neo and Klari.
Klari is in range.
Yeah, so there you go, you get 1d4 on whatever you want.
Attack rolls and saving throws.
Yeah. Not saving throws.
Yeah.
As I found. No, it is saving throws. Yeah.
Guidance is what you need for ability checks.
Yes. Okay, in that case I'm going to go with Arwen, because she was the one leading with the bow, so I'm going to go with Arwen instead.
Okay. Is Arwen in range? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25... Arwen is not in range.
Are you sure? Because if you go from the very corner here, it's 5...
yeah, I'm counting you as in this square here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's...
So
no, that's
5,
no,
10,
yeah,
15, 20...
For some reason I thought I was from Elvis's thing, so it was 5.
I mean, you still have movement on your turn, if you want to move.
No, I'm gonna remain here.
So, this Neo and Klari then.
Yes.
Alright.
And that'll be me.
Okay. Klari, your turn.
Move into the cage. Hopefully.
Okay. I mean, Arwen did roll a 21, so she has the attention of this thing as you sort of like move in, and it's like that scene in Jurassic Park where she's like stepping very carefully like over the T-Rex's leg. You know, you're just like moving through, trying to get like underneath its jaw as its head's like sort of up at like 8 feet looking at Arwen. And you're just like creeping in and yeah, make a Thieves' Tools check to unlock this chain.
I don't think Harry successfully picked it up so far.
But now you'll have got an extra thing on it because you upgraded your dexterity. So now you've got +7. Gadoosh.
16, yeah. So you managed to sneak in, and it's not a very complicated lock, and you get your tools in there, and it's quite large and heavy, but you manage to get your tools in there and get the tension right. And even though it's sort of like on the throat of this thing, and it's moving around a little bit, you're like working sort of slightly above your head, and you manage to just get everything in just the right place. There's just some click, and this big padlock drops off, and you can see like the collar on it is sort of like in 2 pieces and would hinge open. But yeah, you've successfully unlocked the padlock and it falls to the ground, and there's just this big collar on the thing that would open up quite easily, you suspect. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Can I gently lift the collar off of it?
Yeah. So just roll a straight dexterity check to try and, because you're still sort of trying to remain undetected by this thing, as it yeah, so it knows you're there. Arwen has its like focus, and she's like keeping it calm, and you know, it's like constantly like, you know, like being like speaking very softly to it and stuff. And so even though it knows you're there and it's aware of your presence, you don't like jostle it or agitate it in any way, and you're able to like just open this up. There's this like squeak, but you're able to like get it off the neck and come like back out if you wish, and, you know, sort of like throw the door wide.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's everything on your turn.
Actually, maybe I should move on to the other one.
Yeah. So you move 5 feet to get in, 5 feet to get out, so you've got 30 feet of movement left.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, just...
Yeah, you just start. No problem. Elvis.
So something off the map, but Elvis charging forward and going to try and knock the blue.
He's got more than enough speed to catch up and ram them through the trees. Roll for ram.
Roll for ram.
Who are you going after?
Blue. The weaker one.
The weaker one. The one that hits Elvis.
Yes.
I mean, Elvis is remarkably consistent.
I was about to say that.
But also not great, unfortunately.
However, it's 1d4, and if he rolls a 4, no, the AC is 15. I'm assuming. I think. He rolls a 2.
12. Unfortunately, a 12 does not hit.
I think I remember you saying that like a 15 just hit, so I assumed.
Yeah.
Crap, Elvis! I will chase this man to the end of the goddamn earth. However, I would like to get into a space where I am more after the blue one. So if the red one wanted... Basically, I'm going like sort of diagonally to the left of the blue one. So the red one can't hit me before it runs. It would have to use some of its movement to sort of get next to me and run.
Alright, so if I bring them back and I just move everything.
Basically,
I'll just put you guys in this section of trees. Obviously, Neo is over here.
I'd be like that, essentially.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can...
So if the red one wanted to hit Elvis or me, you would actually have to make the effort, like, go to the effort of trying to do that with his movement, and then he would be able to run as well.
Yeah, not a problem. We go back to you, Arwen. These guys are only about 30 feet away from Neo in the trees, well within your line of sight. I've moved them over just so they're sort of on the map, and we can see the positioning, but they are in this direction.
Do the wyvern have like turns here?
Yes, actually, sorry, I should have put them. Yeah, so this one, having been freed, will, and with the door open, will essentially just walk out and fly away. You know, it'll just take off and start flying away.
Okay. So that thing's gone.
Yeah. They are part of the map for some reason, so they are. I can't get rid of them, but yeah.
Okay. Klari hasn't opened the door for the next one yet, has she?
No, she's like in the process of opening it up and getting ready to go in.
Okay.
Two guys
can I
80
shoot
feet from you?
And do an animal handling check? Or are they two actions?
I'd say, given the level of control you need, that they're both actions.
Okay. Well, they seem like they've got things under control, so I'll go here and animal handle.
Okay. Make an animal handling check for me.
Nice.
21 again. Okay. Yeah, you again
It's exactly the same.
Of this thing. It is exactly the same. It's very odd how that's happening a lot tonight. Anyway. You get the attention of this thing and sort of make calming motions and calming sounds to it, and it relaxes in the presence of you guys a little bit more. It does seem to be able to tell the distinction between the two of you. Anything else on your turn? I think she's frozen. Is she frozen for you?
Yeah, frozen, yeah.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
And she's disconnected.
And she's gone.
Okay, well, we'll move on to Neo, who will just run up. And he will make 2 attacks. Which will... Only one of them will hit. And that will be enough. and this red guy is incapacitated. Neo sort of like runs in and like sort of like strikes at him to like open up his guard, like knocks his like sword away with his glaive and like spins it around, and with the butt of it like, strikes him across the cheek and knocks him unconscious.
Oh.
Neo is taking prisoners.
So, or rather, does take prisoners. In this case.
That's everything that he'll do on his turn. The bandit in blue, one of them is like, the red one is unconscious, so the blue one will just like throw down his like bow and sword and just be like, no, please, it's just a job, I don't want any trouble. And he's sort of like looking down at like his unconscious friend on the ground. It's like, Jesus, is he dead? What's so you've got one unconscious. So you've got one unconscious guard and one very injured guard. Stix.
Okay. I'm going to. I want to give my boy a chance, and I feel like we've got this. So I'm going to just cast a bit of healing. Can I reach? No, I probably can't reach anyone other than me or Elvis. So I'm going to give myself.
I mean, you can reach Blue. You are within 5 feet of him.
Within 5 feet. No, I'm meant for some healing. So
yes, no, you can't reach anyone else unless you want to heal Blue. Unless you want to heal the bandit. It's up to you. Really give Elvis a chance. Just keep healing him. Go on, try again, Elvis. No. Oh, well done. And now
this is me training him right now. So I'm going to give myself, in that case, 9 points of lay on hands to put myself to full.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my turn. And I'm going to keep up bless on people.
Okay. Klari. Go to you then.
Guys.
So I'm going to move into this cage and pick the lock.
Yeah, go for it. Roll another Thieves' Tools check. Yeah, I mean, these two locks appear to have been made almost identically, and having done the first one, you've got the feel of it. You've got a little bit more confidence moving around. Now you've seen that, again, Arwen's, this one it seems less aggressive towards you anyway, and Arwen seems to be maintaining the focus and keeping it calm. And you just slide right in and just pop that lock straight off.
Again, can I just carefully lift it off?
Yeah, just roll another dexterity check. Again, it's not really just to free it without sort of agitating it. Okay, 10. So you managed to get it off, but you're sort of the angle you come in at, you're reaching a little bit further around, and as you sort of have to push it open and lift it with one hand, and sort of release your other hand as you can't reach far enough round to hold it open. And when you get it above the neck, it just swings on its hinge and just clangs. And again, this head of this wyvern snaps around and looks at you, and you have to just quickly back up out of the cage. But which you can do just fine. It's not without it, being too aggressive, and it starts sort of hissing and things at you, and as you quickly back away, it seems to relax a little bit and starts nosing its way towards freedom.
Is the thing still up its neck then?
Yeah, you managed to get it off, but so as you lifted it up, the angle you were lifting at, you couldn't quite fully like reach both sides, so you're sort of like lifting one, so when you got it off, it like closed on its own and just clanged.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So yeah, you did it. You didn't like roll a 1 or anything like that, so you were able to like dart out and in time without it, without it like trying to go for you, as it were.
Yeah. Good.
And if that's everything on your turn, it is Elvis.
Come on, boy. I believe. If Elvis doesn't hit this one, I'm just going to give up and hit myself. Or just get Neo to do it. Oh my god!
How is that even possible?
Oh my, I mean, he has 1d4. Elvis!
Unfortunately,
it's painful at this point.
Unfortunately, that does not hit.
Elvis looks really wise and really cool, but when it actually comes down to it, he's a bit of a fuckwit, isn't he?
What is it they say about pets and their owners?
He's a bit of a noob. But all I'm saying is, right, I think put an 11-11 Stix up against a level 11 Doc, and I know who's winning that fight.
Yeah, because once you're out of Divine Smites, Doc will just heal himself back up again.
You can't out-heal the Smite. That's a lie, he totally can.
I mean, to be fair, also lay on hands, so... Anyway.
That's also true.
Yeah, the Wyvern will just, like, nose its way out to freedom and just start flying away, following the other one. So we will go to Arwen. And these guys are in this direction up here. I've just moved them so they're more, like in amongst the trees. They are only about 60, 70 feet away from you. One of them is unconscious. One of them is sort of there with his hands up, his weapons on the floor, being menaced by Elvis. So at this point, you're just not sure whether he's just like an expert intimidator.
This is just that
from hitting every time, just thrashing around.
Yeah, it seems like they're going through something, so I'm not gonna go near that.
Okay.
I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot bar.
I might just have a wander around.
Okay.
Just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
I look in here.
Yeah. So you can look in there. This one just seems to be a genuinely like dilapidated hut. There's no signs of anyone having used it recently. Like there's like a half broken door, like its door has collapsed. So you can see inside. It's a bit dingy, and it just seems to be sort of like bare earthen floor. There's what seems like a permanent set of stones, sort of built up in 2 rings in the middle, or built up in 2 tiers that you would ascertain would be like a fire pit or something like that, probably. And there's a slight hole in the roof for smoke to vent out, but other than that, this one initially seems completely empty.
Yeah.
Okay. Neo will turn to Stix and say, "What are we doing here, Stix? Do we need to question them, or?" And he'll just hold his action to attack based on.
Well, my plan originally was to try and knock one unconscious and bring it back to see, because they're keeping them in cages to take them somewhere.
Look, we put them in the cages.
Yeah. Seems fair. I feel kind of bad because I killed one, and we're not killing the other two.
That's fine. He's in trees. No one can see him.
Fine. It's like it basically never happened, except it totally did. We'll hold my nightmares.
Just holding his action, just waiting for... The bandit is, you know, on his turn, he's just, like, surrendering. Like, goes hands up, he's like, just... What do you want? I mean, we're just... You know, you can see now he sort of seems like, you know, relatively young. Got like a little sort of like scruffy beard and like dirty blonde hair. Yeah, fairly plain looking chap. You know, he's wearing fairly basic like leather armor and things like that you can see. But he just seems to be, you know, like realised that he is entirely outgunned and outmanned and is bleeding very heavily from the wounds he's been dealt. You can see him, he's just sort of like standing on one leg, and every now and again the legs just sort of almost seems to be like on the verge of giving out underneath him. He's sort of standing there. But that's everything he does on his turn. Stix. Neo there, glaive at the ready.
I think I'll just hop down off Elvis.
Okay.
And say, you know what, boy? I think that's enough practice for one day.
Okay, so it's half your movement to get down.
Yeah, sort of stroke him a little bit. And then just turn to this guy, crossbow still in hand.
Yeah.
And just whack him over the face with the crossbow again.
Okay.
Knock him out.
That's a hit.
I really, really want to hit with this, because otherwise it's just a really bad day. Blade! Yes!
Yeah, so 1d4 or 2d4 plus strength.
2d4. Oh, that's pretty good.
Is this non-lethal?
This is non-lethal, yes.
So like in a movie when someone like clubs someone with like the butt of a rifle, you just drop down with this heavy crossbow, bang, straight to like the nose, and you see the nose is just like smeared across his face, and his eyes just roll up into his head, and he just boomf, just like still with like his hands up, just like it almost looks like he's about to make a snow angel, just in the leaves on the forest floor.
See, Elvis, that's how you do it. You got to get closer. You were doing it from range. You got to depth perception with the antlers. I think is what we got to learn here.
Just sort of like nuzzle your shoulder, and there's just this sort of low like mowing. Would you kind of get the sense of, well, I don't have a fucking crossbow.
Well, that's whose fault is that now?
Neo's just giving you looks as you talk to the elk. I'm just getting a real Sven and Christoph vibe.
Oh
yeah. Absolutely.
Let me immediately start bringing a song about how I can't find love.
Oh no.
What about the squirrel?
But yeah, we can certainly drop out of initiative now.
No.
You have 2 unconscious guards that are not going to wake up for a little while.
Put them in the cages.
Is that what you want to do, Arwen?
Yes.
I'm gonna grab the 2 of them.
Okay.
My hempen rope, and I'm gonna tie the rope around their legs. And while they're unconscious, tie them to Elvis's antlers, so he can pull them back.
Like a horse that they use for logging or something.
Yeah, so he can pull them back to camp, so it's easier.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll just stick them in the cages. Lock the cages up.
I mean, the cages themselves aren't really or potentially possible to lock. They've just got a very simple latch mechanism made from like a loop.
Technically, you could put, the collar things that were locked. You could put those around the edge, and then lock it that way.
On the doors. All at the edge.
That would work.
Yeah, lock those up. Make sure they don't have the keys or anything on them, and then done. Boom.
Yeah.
consider yourself locked in.
Are you putting them both in one cage, or are you putting them in separate?
No, separate.
Okay. Alright, well, you put them
Help each other.
in the cages and use the collars, as you say, around the bars. So you have to break like a little like hole in the sort of like framework where they've got the sort of the more narrow bits. Like break a couple of them out, but you can sort of like cut them off or something, and just put these things around, and just like lock the doors on the cages.
Nice. Job done, lads. Now
Good
we
job,
wait.
people. Proud of you all.
What would you like to do now?
Shall we check all of the huts, just for the fun of it, and then like hide in one and wait for the people to come? The big top man that wants
Agreed.
all of the dragons.
Yeah, agreed.
Nice.
Okay, you make investigation checks. Again, whoever's getting involved. I'm
Sorry.
going to take your first one.
Yep.
And then I'll do one. So slow.
21.
Damn.
Damn, boy.
Okay,
Big ass boy.
so you guys find that the majority of these huts are, as they appear from the outside, they are cold, they are dry-ish, they're sort of damp in places where some of the ones that are missing like sections of roofs, or the roofs have collapsed and stuff. There's a couple that have just completely collapsed and are like no use to anyone. But you do find a few of them, and in fact it is these three here. So this one, why is it not pinging that way? And that one, again, please ping. There you go. So those three do have some lived-in signs. There's one of them has a small fire that is still like down to embers, but still could be rekindled. How when you're sort of like you keep a fire for a long time, you let it burn down low, but it's still in a state where you can put a little bit on it and bring it back to life for cooking and things like that within a few minutes. But you keep it burned down low for like fire safety and stuff like that. Stuff like that. There is, bedrolls and belongings and things like that. You find there's like a good amount of like rations and things, and there is a rather heavy locked chest, as well as a couple of letters.
Ooh.
Letters.
Letters.
A locked chest. Well, would you like to handle the locked chest?
I can tell.
And we'll go from there.
Yeah, if you can support. Yeah, 22, that does it. This is it's a more smaller and finer lock. The chest itself is pretty rough and basic, but has like metal reinforcing on the corners so that they don't like break and stuff if it was like treated harshly. But you slip the lock off no problem, and you open it up, and inside you find a large amount of gold. That's why it was so heavy. You in fact find 350 gold pieces.
No.
Oh, nice. Are we splitting that equal?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, yeah. was going to say, because we do have a bit of a party fund left. I have like 148 gold in that. So we could split that like 100 gold each plus 50 gold goes in that.
Yeah, that works.
Communal
This
stuff.
doesn't work out depending on how many people you're counting.
Wait, how many?
Neo. Yeah, piece of. Yeah,
What is it, 350?
350. That works out then as 75 gold.
If you split it by 5, it is 70 gold each, including party fund.
Yeah, that works. That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright. That's actually my one. I had 70 gold here. 120 gold. And then add 70 gold to that, which makes us on 208. We have 208 gold in the party fund.
Imagine how many eclairs we can eat with that.
God.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. From 148.
Yeah, you also find.
Oh! 18! Thank you, Chantal. And you have more gold.
One of these letters has a large black wax seal on it, and the seal is a rather ornate letter C.
Wait, has someone told me that? Because I'm dumb.
Rather ornate letter C.
What's the seal on?
It was the seal on. Was it on the chest? Yeah.
No, the seal is on one of these letters. It's a wax seal.
Is someone relaying this to Arwen?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Crowley's seal.
Oh, crap. Right.
You know the guy, the what was it called? Soldier man was saying, making him do all the bad things.
And we were like super nice to him, and he told him, basically told us his life story, and then he fucked off. Dick.
Was this before Klari turned up?
No, this was before we went to the. Before we went on our way to the.
This was on your way to when you left the monastery, on your way to the quarry.
Quarry, yes.
You
I couldn't think of the bloody word.
A soldier called Garrett, who was fleeing his conscription because his conscription was due to end. He had previously had a good commander who had died, and was then followed by a bad commander, and told you that the bad commander seemed to be taking bribes from this person he sort of learned was the name of Crowley. The nature of some of the things they ended up getting sent to do seemed skeptical to him, and as people's conscription was ending, they were sort of disappearing or, making to leave, and they would, people would leave unannounced, as it were. It'd be like, oh, so-and-so's conscription ended, and they just left yesterday, what have you. It's like, well, why didn't this person, and it's like, well, why didn't this person that I fought with for 3 years, actually say goodbye? And so it was a little bit suspicious. So when his time came, he just up and, left on his own, and then was called a deserter for it, even though he has the tally marks on his arm to show that he has served his 5 years. And so he is now on the run for being a deserter. A very quick whistle-stop summary of everything that happened to Garrick.
Yes, exactly. Alright, let's open it up and give it a read. I guess.
Yeah, so this first letter with this black seal is addressed to Kaelin. And it says, Kaelin, just find any local busybodies you can to handle the job. Payment is in the chest. Keep it under lock and key. You know, I think, I don't trust the riffraff. I will be with you in a moon's turn to pick up as many beasts as you can get your hands on. Let me know if you can how many you've got, and I will bring enough people to ride them.
Ride them.
Ride them.
Ride them away.
Okay. When is the next moon turn?
Next moon turn?
Yeah,
That's
so they'll be with you, and he said they would be there in a moon's turn.
in a moon's turn.
How long does it take for the moon
right?
to turn?
Obviously every month.
Yeah, a moon cycle is about 28 days.
Yeah.
When was
So-
this letter
Yeah, does it have a
written?
date on the letter?
It does not have a date on the letter.
Okay. Well,
How long? How long ago were we in that underground thing with the undead thing and the mimic thing?
The
that was like
origin.
days ago.
How long
Yeah,
ago was that? Because we have done a lot of travelling since then.
Yeah,
Oh no, yeah, I think we did skip through a little bit of travel, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was. So you've done 2 days on the way here. I really struggle to remember.
I think you said we skipped through about a week.
Yeah, it's probably about a week, given the sort of travel and things like that.
Are we going to have to stay
10
here
days ago.
3 more days? 3 more weeks? That's a lot of effort.
That's a lot of effort. Maybe we could get what we need done, and then obviously we know where this is. We need to come back to it, maybe. Because let's face it, if we wait 3 weeks, that undead dude could have taken over God knows what by then.
Yeah. Can we ask the unconscious ones how long they've been
yeah.
here?
That's why we kept them alive. Let's wake them up. And
I mean, they're not getting out now, so
no, they're not.
they can do whatever. They can scream as much as they want.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe not too loud. That might attract unwanted
I'll
animals.
shove some leaves in their mouth.
Yeah. So they'll be out for a little while. There are a couple more letters that you find. One of them seems to be almost like a little sort of like a diary rendition or something like that. It's a note to seems to be a loved one of some description.
Oh God, we're all in love.
It's like, Dear Judith, we've been out here a week and I'm not sure what I've got myself into. I mean, I know things are tight and we need to pay the bills and it pays well, but well, let's just say I won't be taking a second job, and the people in charge are creepy and I feel in over my head, but once I'm back with you and the boys, then
Oh no.
If that's the one I killed, that's rather upsetting.
I had nothing to do with the killings this time. I am not responsible.
I don't care.
Arwen doesn't.
What's the difference between a wyvern and us, really?
Oh yeah, no.
You're an intelligent being, the wyvern is an animal?
In the eyes of the great Zuriel, we are all children of her light. To kill one is no greater than killing the other, and therefore... And what's really worse, a quick, somewhat painless death, or to be tortured for a very long time.
Yeah, and they put Hugo in lots of pain.
Well, they had, wyverns chained up and would,
Whipping them.
crap with those.
Oh, I can use my whip on them. Sorry.
And the third one seems to be almost like a report of everything that has, all things that have gone on. It's written in this quite nice script. Whoever written this was clearly well educated. And details a couple of important things. Is addressed to Crowley, and details of a number of attempts to capture wyverns and a couple of different methods that they've used, and what they think led to failure and success for refining this method, and also things, some basics like established found a secluded spot away from the city to avoid provoking suspicion, hired a few local lads as grunt, paid them well to keep their mouths shut, and so on, and then eventually just trails off, as if there is more to add. But make a quick perception check. Probably Stix or Klari, you'd be the ones reading this. You can both make one if you want, or someone can make it with advantage. As Arwen canonically cannot read.
Perception is not great. It's +1. Well, who do you think's got better luck this evening? First of all, appreciate. I'm going to go with you because it's on your sheet right now, so go for it.
Natural 20. So, putting it together, Klari, you ascertain that you reckon 2.5 weeks have gone by, so that this record has been kept for almost you reckon you can count 19 days in this record. Based on there's not an entry for every single day. Some of them sort of span a couple of days, and using the context clues, you can ascertain that 19 days have passed.
So it's actually only around 9 to 10 days that we've got to wait.
Yeah. I mean, this Crowley guy sounds like a menace, and I'd like to stop him.
Yeah, me too.
But if we have to sit around for days...
I personally think that we have got to get back on track with this whole, shit taking over stuff.
Yeah.
Because the more we wait on that, the more potentially powerful he could get. Because when we found it, this creepy little undead thing, God knows what it's like by now. Yeah, so I feel like we should probably just get back on track with that, but at the same time, this guy is being a real... Sounds like he's quite powerful, and sounds like he's done some bad himself. I mean, 10 days. What can we do in 10 days? We've got the city next to us. It's going to take a lot more than 10 days to get to
where we need to go to the Elven capital, do the stuff we need to do, and then get back here.
Yeah, if I put you on the map for your
Right.
reference again. So it will probably take you. You've still got a few hours left in this day, so you could probably get to the city of Ormsdala in like tomorrow evening time. If you wanted to get to Themyscira, the Elven capital, then you guys are only about here, so that is going to be sort of 2, 4, 6, 8. That is going to be at least 10 days to get there.
Yes, 10 days to get there.
Yeah.
Well, we can't.
How does Crowley's letter have a return address?
No. It's
Damn
just
it.
addressed to Kaelin. It's not like number 4.
Does not find this. We've returned it to.
Well,
It's
you
undelivered,
know.
yeah, no, a return. To
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Alright, then, what are we doing? Are we heading straight, or are we doing this?
Well, we've let out the things for now. We know this bad guy's name. We could head to the capital, and then if we pick up any trails of this bloke on the way, we can be like, "Ooh, okay."
Yeah, because also, I'm sure if we informed people in the local city, this is happening in their forest, I'm sure they probably don't endorse this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially, we, as far as we know, it's wyverns, but it could be anything. They could have more stuff, they could be capturing more things, more dragon-esque animals, or any sort of
Or
animal.
children.
Or children, yeah. God knows what. So, I'm sure there are people who will listen to this sort of thing and who will want to be rid of him. So, yeah, I can see us at the very, very least making, get to the city, inform who we can about it, maybe search, any leads in the city about it for, maybe, tomorrow or something like that.
So you're heading to Ormsdala for a couple of days.
Yeah, for, head there, get some rest. Oh, no, not Ormsdala, the
the Elven City.
Yeah, head to the Elven City. Rest, recuperate, buy stuff, sell stuff. Inform the authorities there about Crowley and his potential doings. And then head out to Themyscira, knowing where we can pick back up the trail, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if we inform the authorities there, maybe they'll get someone on it, sort of thing, and they might gather some clues and things of where we can potentially, or keep tabs on it, to maybe where, their last sort of known thing could be, and then obviously when they look back, we know.
One thing you would have picked up on is that none of the people you had encountered so far were elven. All of these, you obviously had the Minotaur, and everyone else seemed to be human generally. You would potentially know that. Just make a history intelligence check. I think just straight intelligence.
Intelligence. Oh. +3 on this. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So you would pick up on, and you would know that Ormsdala is an orc city generally, but does have a large mix of population. There are a handful of elves, the vast majority is orc, but there are also a large number of humans and also dwarves there. So, and you would pick on the fact that no elves had been involved that you had seen. Of all the sort of like regular bandits you have encountered, they were pretty much all human.
Well, then if they're operating somewhat out of the...
So you were looking for more sort of information or to pick up on it. The note said they had picked up some local muscle for things.
Yeah, okay, then I guess we wouldn't really need where we're heading is right. Well, I guess that's even better then, because now we know exactly where we can pick this up. He seems to work sort of out of there. At the very least, that's the nearest sort of big trading hub. I'm sure someone there also know of his going on. So whenever we want to pick this back up again, we can pick it back up and get going and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
If that's cool.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
What do you think, Klari? What is Neo's is very non-committal, but whoever is sort of Stix and Arwen seem to be having the majority discussion. Neo will just sort of ask Klari what her opinion is.
Everyone else is happy with it. Clary's alright. She's just really annoying.
Sweet.
Okay. Alright, well, you guys are heading out towards Ilhelion.
Indeed.
Making your way through the forest.
Making our way downtown.
A few hours worth of travel ahead of you, which is where I think we'll pick it up next time.
Excellent.
On the road to Ilhelion.
Road again.